Hello YouTube friends, Alicia back here. As you can see from this video, it's another shot of my craft room. I have been reorganizing. In my last video I talked about how the Crafty Organizer had talked about things being single reach, or you pull something out and you put it back and not having everything stacked behind it, because if you do that, you can't get at anything behind it, so it never gets put back or it never gets used. So I have worked pretty much the last few days on reorganizing and redoing things, and it's gonna look, these shelves probably look pretty much the same as they did before, and that's because my goal wasn't to get things out of here. My goal was to get things forward. But I also want to talk about one other thing, and that is, if you look at this, there is nothing expensive about the storage units. It is binders from the thrift store. It is containers from the thrift store and containers from the dollar store, and then at the bottom where you see, I will just go down, all that colored cardstock, that is a cat litter box that I just cleaned out. They're heavy duty, and they clean out. Cat litter is dry, so maybe not, I don't know how you say conventional storage, but it works really well, because if you cut it down like that, it holds the 12 by 12 papers, and they're super sturdy. So I had asked my mom to save me some. She has cats. She actually has my cat. I can't have pets here, but anyways. And then of course on the bottom is just more bins. But yeah, so I wanted to talk a little bit about how use what you have, use what you can afford. I often say I store my life in binders, because I am a binder person. I use bins obviously for certain things, but I prefer binders for my stamps and dies, as well as my digitals. Anything that I can put in a binder that's logical to put in a binder, I put in a binder, because of the way I think. I find it super easy to flip through and sort. Yeah, so I will just show you kind of what I have up here. So this I pulled up. It is game pieces. I never used them because they were behind things. I couldn't get to them. But if you ever watch Diane H, she does so many things with game. She uses game cards and playing cards and things like that in the journals, and I have so many that I want to use. So I put some in a bin up front, and there is another bin of them behind, but the thing is, I have some readily available. So anything that's behind is, except for one item, which I'll talk about, is things that are extras. This is my ribbon. It is overflowing. I don't really have a great ribbon storage. I use ribbon fairly often though, so I don't want to get rid of it, and it's going to be kind of a mess. This box was from where I used to work. It was packaging, obviously, but these are Project Life cards, and I love them in here because I like to look through them. It's kind of like the binder. I can just flip through them, and because it's the perfect size to store them. Well, you can't really see, but there's pads of them in, and this is envelopes and bags, and as you can see, I recycle envelopes, but I also have store-bought envelopes in there. This is another thing that is now pulled forward, my 6x6 paper pads. I could not get to them before. They're not high on my use list, but I have tons of them, and they're really nice, and you definitely don't use them if you can't reach them. So I can now reach them. My turtle shell broke, but that's just my turtle. I love my turtle. This is my Delusions paint and my fabric paint, which I was not able to get as before, and just a bag of buttons on there. This is going to be changing, but this is just done ephemera. And then this is collage stuff, and then in the back there is journal kits that I have started journals, like collecting things for journals, and haven't made yet. And that all needs to be gone through, but it's somewhere where I know where it is and I can get to it. Okay, so this is where I was going to tell you. I am not thrilled. I have 8.5 by 11 paper back there. that I would like to be able to get to easier. Not because I use it all the time, but I don't like the idea of having to take all my binders out to get it. So these are stamp binders, and I make all my own stamp holders. I just use page protectors. I put paper in and I sew them down to size. And then that is that. I am not going to spend a fortune on any kind of stamp storage. I know there's all kinds of containers, packaging that you can get for it. I can get page protectors, 100 of them for $10, so that is what's going to be my thing. And then here's another thing. There is ephemera stuff back there. So this shelf does have things in the back that I wish were up front, but I just don't have the space. This is just random things that they fit on the shelf, so there they are. These bins, I love them. They have sequins and stamps and gems and just different things that I like to go through. And then there is another bin, and this has a lot of vintage ephemera. And then I have a spinner. That thing's useless. I'm sorry if you guys like those spinners. I really think they're a waste of money, and I'm gonna actually take my embellishments off there. And I think I might keep the page protectors, but the spinner, yeah. Anyways, we won't go there. And then, look, you can see it's from the thrift store, 49 cents. Down here I have, you can't get to it easily, but I have, oh, I forget, my coil binder, not the plastic coil binder, I forget what they're called. It's not for regular binding. It's for, we used to use them in high school, or in elementary school. They have the big plastic coils and all the teeth. It's not for, like, the cinch. But anyways, so that's that. These are all dies. I store my dies in binders. I have a few magnetic sheets. Not sheets, sorry. They're all on magnetic sheets, magnetic books. I don't care for them. They take up, they're thin, like when compared to a binder, but in order to store what I have in dies, A, it would cost me an absolute fortune to do it this way, and B, I would have rows and rows of them, whereas I can just get more into a binder. So that is why I switched to the binder, binder storage. This is just kits that I need to work on. This is stamps, and this is stamps. These are stamps that need to be put away. They don't actually belong stored like this. And then in the back are stamps and die sets, and they are in a bin because they're all from one company. I bought them on a secondhand site, and they were a very good price. Okay, and then at the bottom here I have, this is the kitty litter box I was telling you about. I have cardstock in it. I like it because it's visual. I'm a visual person. I like the way it looks, but I like that it keeps everything together and not getting bent. These are a couple of my binders. I have many binders of my digitals. What I do is I print them out and then I put them in a binder with their title, and each binder is by whoever makes the digitals. So, I mean, I might have multiple designers in one binder, but their kits are together. I say that in theory. That's how it is. Anyways, and this is just kind of things that are not categorized. Well, they're categorized into file folders, but not into the binders. So they might be things that, you know, I printed this off from Pinterest or Facebook or whatever, and it's not actually a digital kit. This is an idea that I really like. I also am a big fan of Ziploc bags. I recycle all my Ziploc bags, and so I'm not a huge fan of plastic waste. What I did is I had this box just sitting, and I put stickers in it because I've collected stickers since I've been about 4 years old, and I have my original albums. But I don't use them in my journals because I had stickers in a huge sticker box. I couldn't get to it. I couldn't go through it. It was so stuffed full. So what I've done is I just have an assortment of stickers here. I can use these as I need more or want to refill. I can go into my storage room, grab what I want, and add it to this. And I mean, there's still lots of room in this box, but so I've been using stickers like crazy because I can now get to them. And then here, oh, and there is stuff behind some of these. There is some extra journals. Some of them I've made, some of them just for pages. And I also have some photo albums with photos in them for junk journaling, like for my personal junk journaling, but it's not stuff that I want to add every day. These are die cut binders. And what I mean by die cuts, I mean, I used to do a lot of die cut swaps, so I get all different kinds of die cuts, or I'll just die cut because I like die cutting, and I put them in binders so that they're all sorted. And I want to get a Cuttlebug, but I have the large size die cutter, which it takes a lot of space, and I really don't have a lot of space in this room. And so if I have them pre-cut, you know, I have a cutting session or whatever, it makes my life a lot easier, and I'm more likely to use my dies. This is just, oh, there's a box of scrapbooking, junk journaling and stuff there that, once again, isn't ideal, but I'm not in it every day, so I don't care, it can stay. That's just packaging and such to recycle. This is just recipe cards. I have to be very careful what I store on the bottom here because it does get damp. I'm in a basement. Not anything crazy, but I don't want paper on the bottom here. So everything's in a bin. This is just laces, as you can see, seam binding and yarn. My Dremel, which I love that thing. And then this is just a bin. These were all in a binder as well, but they are all for binders as well, but they don't fit with what I have in them. I have my embossing folders in them, so I can just flip through all that too. That's all embossing items. And then, of course, my other embossing items I showed you in the last video are in these two, like my bigs. They don't obviously fit in binders. And then I have some of my door and my wall on magnetic sheets. But anyways, that is kind of the update. Of course, I have some other storage that I will show you, and I will one day maybe go through some of these drawers, but honestly, I don't know. I think sometimes things can just get repetitive, and so yeah, I will show you actually real quick. This is another thing I have. I love these things because well, I put up a closet rod here in this room, and I can hang things on it, and I love that because this room is very tiny. Like, the reason you're so close is because I'm backed as far as I can go against my table. But anyways, it holds all kinds of it's organized. Like, it holds stamped images and store-bought die cuts and things that need to go in my journal and stuff. I like that it's organized, because I just redid all that. But I used to have it so that I had more ready-to-go things that I would grab all the time in here. And what I did was I put all that stuff away where it went, because I used this kind of as a catch-all. But now I find that the stuff's not there that I grab for all the time, and I have things in here that I don't grab for all the time. And I'm a little bit frustrated with not having what I'm used to being able to grab. So I'm gonna have to think about that a little bit. But anyways, it is nice to see it organized. And then on the back I have some more, and I have a second purple one that is the same idea. And yeah, so these things are awesome. They're jewelry organizers is what they are. I got them from my thrift store. Since I'm here, I may as well show you. I also have all my go-to stencils on binder rings, and on the rod, and extra score tape and ribbon. And another thing I really like are these hanging files that have all different dyed papers in them, just sorted by color. And this is just coffee dyed paper. Ouch. And then I got this bin, which is full of my decorative scissors. And yeah, so that is kind of the craft room update, and I will talk to you all soon.